Hello, my air people. How is it going? This is going to be a reading for February 2017, y'all. Okay? I'm going to include a little bit of, this in portion of January, just because we're so close to the end of the month. So, I know it's been a very trying period for everyone, regardless of, your political affiliations here in the United States, as well as, any other things that tend to, divide people. But this is a point where hopefully, much needed dialogue and action can, come out of it and bring some really necessary and valuable change, not only here in the U.S. but also globally. So here we go. The general tone for February of 2017 for air signs. I feel like you guys are dropping your load. And you're dropping everybody else's load. Like, the image I'm getting is a person who, like a woman. All my ladies who have ever had to carry like 6, 7, or 8 grocery bags, up a flight of stairs or, down the street in order to make it home because you didn't have a car or you parked too far away. And it gets too heavy and you're like, and nobody's coming up to help you, and you're just like, what, screw it. And you just drop the bag and let everything fall where it may. That's what I see. Okay? And I apologize, but I use the lady scenario because I am a woman and I know what that's like. And most of my friends who identify as women, I know definitively can identify with that imagery. Not saying men haven't gone through that too. Just saying. I just see a woman dropping her bags and just be like, fuck it, I'm not doing this anymore. I refuse. And honestly, this may be a time where you all let yourselves completely fall apart. Be it where you have a nervous breakdown, per se. Be it where you just sit and turn off your phone and turn off the TV and disconnect from the world for a while. Be it that you clean out your closet, cut your hair off, and just have a totally different, vibe. But I just see you letting go of other people's stuff, namely other people's perceptions of you, and letting go of you feeling like you have to be, superhero mode all the time. You also have victory inverted and be proactive. I think you're starting to realize that there can't be any victory if you're not taking action in a way that's proactive to you first. Air signs tend to be people who look at humanity as a whole and tend to look outward and then look inward. This is going to be a period where you're realizing, what about me? Who's going to take care of me? I can't win if I'm not actively seeking to be a better version of myself for me first. Because it becomes very hollow in terms of an existence where you're always trying to be a better version of yourself for someone else. Because then you forget who you are, right? So, the tone is letting go of your stuff and everybody else's stuff and just retreating for a while. Okay? And putting things into a perspective that is befitting you, and also allowing you to, when you do come around and when you're moving forward, you're able to do so with speed, with accuracy, and also that's actually getting something done, where you're not spinning your wheels. I feel like you've been stuck in the mud for a while, air signs, for a while, because you've been doing everything according to somebody else's specs. And now that you're letting go of everybody else's stuff, you're like, okay, this is really what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And it's like an emotional enema. Like you're not all blocked up and backed up. Like you can just actually move and you feel lighter and freer. And honestly, I just don't see where you care very much about what anybody else has to say on the opposite end of this, which is great. So, I'm going to start with my people because, well, there's a video for Aquarius, but I said I would gloss over it because there's a whole video for Aquarius. But very quickly, Aquarius, redefining foundations and boundaries. Boundaries, people. I cannot stress that enough. February is about establishing boundaries. It might be because it's your birthday coming up. And you're like, you know what? New year, new me, new rules, and screw you if you don't like them. I feel like things are going to be slowly changing and evolving on an emotional tip, a spiritual tip. This could be a year where some people come out and say, I'm no longer Christian, but I choose to be Buddhist. Or I was Muslim and I choose to be Christian. But there's a swapping, a changing of the guard when it comes to ideas and thought and spirituality. I keep feeling that. Gradual changes emotionally. I feel like you're going to definitely be able to tap into a bit more imagination. But those boundaries are going to be key because those boundaries are going to keep you safe. And there's a difference between, I need to tell you this, between creating boundaries and walls between you and people. Let me stress that again. A boundary is different than a wall. Yes, you can argue that a wall is a boundary. Don't try me. I'm also the queen of technicalities, okay? But you can look over a boundary a lot easier than you can look over a wall. Okay? Meaning you can still see eye to eye with somebody and know that you can stand firm in your truth with a line drawn in the sand, as opposed to having a mile high wall where you're each standing on either side and nobody sees the other one, so nothing gets done. You still need to be able to work with these people or still be able to have a dialogue with these people, okay, or have some type of emotional attachment, but you can still say, don't go past here. Make sense? Hope so. Real quick, 5 of Cups. I don't see you caring too much about what people have to say. Health, your mental health especially, but physical health is going to be important for Aquarians in February. If you do physicals, it's a good time to get a physical. If you want to do a little bit of a cleanse or give your body a break in terms of what you're eating, this is a good time too. Similar to what you guys pulled at the in your video, dare to be creative. Think it and it shall be yours. But just make sure you're being proactive about what you're thinking about, because when we manifest and it's lickety split. Okay? Think Oprah. Okay? Some signs build companies. Some signs build, wealth. Some are out for, legacies and empires. But empires fall. When an Aquarius builds something, especially an Aquarius woman, we build dynasties. It's hard to get rid of the stuff that we put into place. Okay? I know it sounds arrogant, y'all, but I mean, you've got some examples. Oprah is one. FDR, we still have Social Security. So that's why I'm saying be very judicious about what you guys are putting out there, okay? Princess of Pentacles, yeah. Very judicious about what you're putting out there and what resources you're taxing and utilizing to do so, okay? I'm going to go over to my Geminis. Hello to my Geminis. I'm not singing for Grammys, y'all. I'm just being silly. Okay? And I'm also fighting allergies, so I'm trying to make myself feel better. Self-care, see? I'm listening to my own advice. Alright, Gemini. Restructuring in your foundation is the first thing that's in order. And I feel like your health is the first place that you need to go. I keep seeing imaging. Some of y'all could be looking at cardiology screening. Don't ask me why, but that was the first thing I saw. I keep hearing cath lab, but you all need to take a look at your tickers and your hormones. I feel like hormones are a little bit out of place too. It's not really easy for anybody to stay healthy when you have no seasons anymore. But but climate change isn't real. But yeah, take a look at your health, okay? And sleeping. Sleeping seems to be a problem coming up for you in February too. I feel like you should keep a dream journal, and I feel like that's part of why. Okay. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. And I say that because I feel like spec before check. Check before spec. Meaning, check your sources and resources before you start speculating about what's going on. I feel like it has to do with office situations, like gossip or drama within the workplace. Okay? But I also feel like with anything that you're about to do that's judicial, so be it like signing, like if you're trying to start your business and it's, it involves like, any type of legal paperwork, or if you're, somebody who's, on probation or anything like that that involves the legal system or any type of legal documentation that is binding, make sure you check and reference all sources, and make sure you understand all the amendments and addendums and article this, that, and the other on it, because I feel like it could be something that comes back to bite you in your butt later. Okay? I also feel that you need to make sure that you're being fair to yourself too, as it pertains to what you're asking of yourself. I feel like some of you are asking yourselves, it's like you're asking yourself to stay in the same situation, stay behind, from a false sense of practicality. Like, oh, this job, I've been here for 12 years, I already know what to expect, I know this level of crazy, I don't want to meet new people, da 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 da. Right, but you're miserable. And it's affecting your health. So why would you want to stay? Why would you want to stay there? Right? You're tricking yourself into believing that it's okay to stay there. But it's really an injustice to ask yourself to stay there, because you're holding yourself back. And I don't feel like you're going to be able to do that going past February. I honestly feel like if you're trying to stay in situations like that, come March, you could either be fired or let go, or something happens that forces you to have to leave. And then where you could have had more of a proactive stance about your transition, you very easily could be a little bit more having to like play catch up in a passive kind of way, passive aggressive way. Okay, so let's see what else. Yeah, it's not your destiny to stay in a screwed up situation. Okay, you don't need to say where it's fucked up, but it is your destiny to be happy. Geminis are very loquacious and very good with their words. Ideas, words, like y'all are like muses. Okay? You could be really good consultants. I don't know why I don't see more Gemini consultants, but y'all would be like damn good consultants. Cause I mean y'all give great ideas out a mile a minute. I don't know why y'all don't do it. Notice subtle changes. Things are gonna start revealing themselves to you as to when you need to leave. You got the Hangman twice, both times inverted. Both times inverted, okay? Do not get too far ahead of yourself, and do not get caught up in drama and gossip. Be the fly on the wall. I cannot stress that enough to you. Be the fly on the wall and work in the shadows. Okay? Don't go in there popping off. In the end, I feel like you guys will be victorious. You just got to decide when you want to leave. Okay? And it's not just leave a job, but leave the situation. When are you going to leave the bondage you've trying to impart upon yourself? You're trying to leave it. You're trying to put it on yourself. When are you going to let yourself go and breathe? Okay? Apologies. You guys need to be working with Aqua Aura. Y'all need to see something sparkly and shiny, because you need to remind yourselves that you too are sparkly and shiny. You need to see something that shines, so that way you remember to radiate that essence, okay? And it also does cleanse the aura and the spirit, okay? And if you're in a very toxic situation where you're always around some negativity, that definitely is going to help purge that. But do it in a lighter way where you can, be bubbly and happy, all right? Sage, some good sage. If you want to mix it with some rosemary or like a sage bundle, a white sage bundle, you need to smoke out your house, y'all. And some salt water. Like, y'all need to go old school with this. Start scrubbing some floors, and staging, sprinkle maybe a little rosemary down, but yeah. I also feel the need to tell you to eat a little bit of citrus in the morning. Like some red grapefruit, if you can stomach that. I know not everybody can, or but something tangy and citrusy in the morning to help wake you up, to get you going, to get your mind open. Okay? But in terms of your herbs and your crystals, Aqua Aura is going to be good. Or Spirit Quartz. But yeah, y'all need to go old school with some white sage bundles. Start smudging some stuff in some sea salt and water. Start scrubbing them floors. Alright. Libra. How are you guys doing? You guys have been in a very interesting situation for the last couple of months. So let's see what's up with you. More deliberation. I swear Libras are always trying to figure something out. And that's cool. Because y'all are always trying to oscillate between two worlds. Always seeing both sides. That's cool. The problem is that you all sit there and churn too much and you don't act quick enough in some regards. So I feel like your level of creativity may have a bit of a damper at the moment. And I feel like it's kind of at an inopportune time because you need to have some creativity with everything that you got going on. I feel like if you're I think I said this in January, if you're planning parties or events or something like that, y'all, I just keep hearing calamity. Like either they don't have the right matching colors, so it's like the color scheme is off. I keep hearing something about balloons, random as hell, but just go with it, okay? There's something about balloons here. There's something about needing to make sure that you have everything that you need at your disposal, but you don't from a creative standpoint. And I feel like you've depleted yourself on a level of creativity that also doesn't make you happy. Like the more you keep trying to put your heart into it, you just can't do it, and you're asking yourself, is this truly what I want to do? Am I making the right move? Am I making the right choice? Y'all, this is going to sound really crappy, and I'm sorry, but if you're getting married, you might not be getting married. You might not be going through with it just yet. Sorry. I keep feeling like there's some things that are going to be coming up through this process that let you know who you really are and who this other person really is and what this person thinks of you. And so there could be some breakups going on with Libra. I feel like Libra women more so than Libra men. Sorry, y'all. If that is in fact the case. But I just feel like you need to move on. It's just not right. There's something about this that's just not fitting. It's not right. And I feel like there's some of the people around you kind of know this, but they're too afraid to tell you. You might be having a bit of a bridezilla moment. And they may just want to back away slowly. Also, I feel like Libras, y'all might be looking at, not indentured servitude. Yeah, y'all could be looking at either getting laid off or fired too. There's a severance of ties in y'all that's going on in February. It could come back around in June, but I keep feeling February. And you're going to have to decide whether or not you're going to keep trying to make this position work or make this thing work. Or if you're going to allow it to kind of fall and dissolve and see if something better can happen. Yeah. Yeah, see the good in everything. You know, just because it doesn't work out, Aphrodite's love spell. Yeah, just because it doesn't work out the way in which you see it doesn't mean that it was a bad thing. Honestly, I feel like it's about to free you of something. But Libras are very much about the outer packaging of things. That doesn't make you guys superficial. But you are people who like to make sure that you're wrapped a certain way. I mean, you're ruled by Venus, and Venus is all about outward expression and how you all are viewed. The public eye. What will the public think? What will these people think? And making sure that you're putting on a nice outer exterior so everybody else is either envious or, admires you. You like to be admired. That's a great thing. But if you're going to be admired for the truth of who you are and for the situation. You're very much worried about, well, what will other people say? Don't worry about what other people are going to say. You might be surprised and people might say, wow, you know what? I admire the fact that you have the courage to, go ahead and cancel your wedding. Most women wouldn't do that, or most guys wouldn't do that. They would go through with it because, well, I started planning it already and we're already in debt. Yeah, you might $2,000, down the drain from, planning a party or planning your reception is one thing. 20 grand to get out of a marriage and all the time and emotions that, get invested into marriages when they don't go properly. Two totally different things. So you might be surprised that more people admire you for your courage to walk away from something that was making you miserable versus wanting them to admire you just because you look nice on one day. Okay? Hope that didn't come across as insensitive, but I have to keep it 100 with you all. That's what I get. Um, you know, in terms of herbs, I would say rose water for you all too. Rose water and basil, sweet basil, or bay leaves. Because I feel like there's going to be some fighting and some tempers flaring and a lot of emotional disease rather. So those things are going to help with that, keeping that down and helping to soothe tempers and help with diplomacy, keeping you a bit more peaceful. In terms of stones, clear quartz. You need something that's just going to be able to cool your head down. Because I just see you all being a bit more erratic. I see more arguing, more arguments. Things, tensions just mounting. Which in some regards is actually kind of atypical for you all. But I feel like things are coming to a head for most signs this year. I think this is going to be a year of expect the unexpected. So, see the good in everything. I do hope that everything works out. I hope that I am wrong. I'm not a reader who wants to be right about everything. I honestly wish to God that there were some things that I was not right about, that I've been accurate with. So, I don't like it when marriages end, or, you know, when people split up and you know, people are hurt. So, but I have to give you what I get. So, good luck. Take care, my beautiful, beautiful air people. I love you all, my love bugs, and keep your gazes forward.